Hey guys, welcome back. Another episode of Rabbit Motorworks. Today we're going to do some updates on the cooling system with the 85 Camaro and replace that aging radiator and do a cooling system update for a missing coolant pipe. So hope you enjoyed today's episode. Stay tuned, and if you haven't subscribed already, please click the subscribe below and stay tuned for more great content and episodes on Rabbit Motorworks. Let's get going. So today's episode, we're going to do cooling system updates. And when I mean updates, one of the biggest things, it's more like an update, is I ran into an issue when I was taking the car out with Junior. We went down to Huntington Beach, had the air conditioning on the whole time. It works awesome. It works so well that even having the air conditioning on, it got to the point where I was getting too cold in the car and would have to turn it down. So that's awesome. That's what R12 does. It's a really cool air conditioning system, and they perform really well. So I'm glad I kept the original system in place. So I went to go take the car in to get some estimates on some paintless dent repair, specifically on the front right quarter panel, as it's got a little bit of a crinkle here. And so the guy is going to be able to actually take all that out with paintless dent repair. And so I've got an appointment to have him do that next week. So I'll see if I can get some video of the shop when I'm down there, and show you the work that he does. It's pretty miraculous that they can bring all that back. So when I was at that shop, I pulled up and he gave me the estimate, and then all of a sudden Junior pointed into the car and says, "Dad, there's a pool of water under the car." And I said, "Oh, it's probably the air conditioning system, right? The evaporation off of the receiver dryer gets pretty heavy." And I thought that was the case, but sure enough, I backed out and realized it was coolant leaking. So I was like, so where's the coolant leaking? And I couldn't actually pinpoint it until I got the car home. And I put the car up on lifts, got it up to operating temp, and I was able to actually kind of diagnose it. And there's some in between the tank, which is a plastic tank, and then the radiator fins right in here. It's kind of like a crimp-on design, and there's a rubber seal that covers the plastic tank and that. So that rubber seal is obviously deteriorated, and so it's basically peeing out the front of the radiator. So it needs a new radiator. And this radiator, original radiator, says right here the date on it's May. Looks like 12th of 85, which is the original radiator. So it's seen better days. And the other update we're going to do is when I bought the car, this is one of the things I noticed, is that the heater hose is actually going across the top of the intake. It was zip tied on. I replaced it with a newer piece of hose when I did some of the cooling hose updates, if you see on some of my other videos, to basically replace all the rubber hoses. But what I did more research on is there's actually supposed to be a line that comes down and goes through and underneath the AC line here, and then connect up with a piece of heater hose from that to the radiator. And my assumption is that what GM was trying to do was to keep the heat off of the intake manifold. And then this isn't necessarily good either, because you can see it's already kind of got a rub pattern here, and it's bringing additional heat here, and then it's basically rubbing against these intake runners. And so one of the things with intakes is you don't want to have hot air, or hot or warm, temperatures come to those intake runners, because it's going to decrease your performance, right? So who knows? This will maybe be a 12 horsepower improvement gain. Doubt it, but either way, we're going to replace it. And so I actually got the new radiator. I got something from a place called OSC Radiators. It's got the checkered flag on it, so it must be a fast part then. All kidding aside, it's the closest example that I could find, as they no longer make the GM radiator. But so that'll be, you know, hopefully it's a good fit. I took it out, took a look at it. It seems like it's, you know, exactly what the OE-spec is, and so we'll give it a try. And then that coolant pipe that I was talking about, here's the pipe. I couldn't find a used one of these. Well, I did find one, but it was pretty rusted, had a nick out of it. So I decided to pass on it. These are kind of rare. They only made this pipe for the 85 to 86 version, as they're on the 87 and up version, they actually have a heater control valve and an additional nipple that sources that heater control valve. This has got a different setup, and so this is a pipe that's only applicable for 85 to 86 models with AC, and all models up to like 92 or 91 without AC. So I found it from a guy on eBay. It wasn't cheap. It was new old stock. So this is like basically a brand new part. And yeah, that set me back about $180. So that's an expendy part, but I think it's worth it to try to keep the originality and restore the car back to its original state. So, and then here's that heater hose that basically comes up on it. So this sits across the back of the firewall, and then the other part goes down along that frame rail, and then it connects right here to that heater hose to go up to the radiator. So those are the parts. That's the job that we're going to go through, and we're going to start some disassembly. So yeah, let's get into taking it down. I still got to yank the heater core line out of there. We'll take that out next. Always a challenge getting the coolant out without making a mess, but got a couple of catch pans there for it. Still picking up some of the excess. Here's the old radiator. I got it draining in a bucket. You can always see you pick up all kinds of interesting things along the way. As you can see, here's where the leak was, and definitely you can see the, kind of the scene of the crime there, where there's been some, scaling, and that's basically where I saw it leaking out, was in between this gap between the tank and the crimped on line here. So that's a rubber seal in between, and I mean, the radiator doesn't really look all that bad. Definitely could use a cleaning for better performance. I've seen a lot worse. But yeah, it's out, and we'll start doing some of the other pieces, getting those ready, prepped and clean, so we get back to our reassembly, and we'll load it up with some coolant following that. So if you haven't taken the time to subscribe to the channel, please time out, take a break, click subscribe, click the notifications so you can get notified every time I put up a new video. and you can follow along the progress of not only the Camaro, the Porsche, the BMW. We're gonna have all kinds of projects coming up, especially the next thing is gonna be on the BMW. It needs some front brake work, and we'll put some of that up in some of our next episodes for our upcoming project. Appreciate everybody's support, and look forward to bringing you great content. Okay, let's knock that heat hose out of here. Zip tie be gone. So one of the challenges is going to really be the clearance in here. Ta-da! Okay, off. Here's the hose area. This piece right here, this is like looks like the main wiring harness. It's actually tied onto some kind of bracket here. There's a similar bracket here. It's got like a nub on there to go to a small hole in the firewall or something, but I don't see anything where it's actually attaching. There's a lot of leeway here with this. And man, wouldn't it be nice to have that up out of the way? So I'm gonna hunt around there to make sure that maybe I'm missing some bracket here or somebody else took off something. Looking in GM part diagrams again. This wire here, which looks like the primary wire to the starter, also looks like it's could be in the wrong spot. I don't know, we'll see. But let me take this towel out of here. You can see what I've kind of got to work with to navigate that thing in here. And there's a actual piece of wire here that goes back to a sensor here with a limited amount of sheathing on it. And yeah, all kinds of stuff there, wiring wise. But moving those out of the way, there's definitely enough room in there. So, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me put some better light in there. But that's basically where that thing's gonna snake down. It's gonna go through the back side of that. It's gonna come over to the channel there, and then it's gonna paste up to the radiator. So it's gonna be lots of patience, and it's hot out right now, so I might do some of this work later this evening just to have a better cool sense. Hey everybody, it's day 2 and putting the radiator and coolant pipe in our cooling system refresh. The old radiator was out, I got the new radiator in, it's all cleaned up, all the connections are there. Additionally, that heater pipe, which was just a bear to get in, a lot of patience, got it all connected, curved a heater core hose going down, so that pipes all the way along. No longer do we have that heater core line going across the top of the manifold. The other thing I did is reroute the spark plug wires underneath this so that this is sitting on top. As you can see, clearance now from the runners, clearance not touching the alternator either. So that's awesome. And so we'll be able to keep the originality of the car, bring that back together. It's a really great radiator fit as well. So anybody else who's looking to replace one, that OSC radiator is definitely a true fit and design as original. So there's a testament to definitely fitting in this model. The other thing I did is I got some Prestone full strength and some distilled water. We're gonna mix up some 50-50. It was a tough time trying to find some distilled water. I don't know what the deal is, but I had to go to a couple of grocery stores last night to find some. It seems to be a shortage, so I don't know why. But I found some, thank God. And then I got some oil and a filter, so we'll do a filter change as well, and change out the oil, since I haven't changed the oil since I first got the car. And I put a few thousand miles on it now, so it's about ready, and I think it used about a quart, so we'll get that done as well. Drained. So next steps here is we'll start mixing that coolant and top up the system, start it up, bring it to operating temp, make sure we don't have any leaks, and then get to changing the oil. Coolant is in and it's topped up. I just ran it, topped up the reservoir as well. It was already starting to heaten up and started to push over a little bit, but I think we got all the air out of the system, which is great. So I'll tighten everything up, and I don't see anything leaking below, so that's awesome. Our heater core pipe, other than a little spillage from the radiator right now, but that's okay. So yeah, let's get this all buttoned up, and we'll go on to start changing the oil. Okay, so we got our handy 13mm here. Get this oil out of here. There we go. Looks pretty black too. So we'll let that drain, and then I'll undo that filter. Plenty tight. Okay. Snug as it needs to be. Okay. The oil in next. There's no shiny particles in any of the drain, so that's awesome. So let's fill it up. Makes me nervous. Of course, all over the place. Perfect. That's kind of where I like the 1-quart bottles, because of these big jugs. It's so much more to mangle. We'll get it cleaned up though. The nice thing about these 5-quart jugs though is that it all goes in real fast. So I think we're gonna look for some kind of a spout for these things in the future. But no biggie. So let's get all that out of there. Do a little cleanup here as well. What a mess. Running nice, it's clean, and we got good oil pressure. Actually, it sounds really good. There she is, purring like a kitten. A little low on the reservoir, but we'll top it up a little later. No leaks. Pretty quiet. Well, hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's video on changing the radiator, updating the coolant, and doing a quick oil change. Stay tuned to Rabbit Motorworks, and if you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button, set on your notifications, and stay tuned for more content. Peace.